Hey everyone, it's Eric Dor here, and in today's video you're going to learn the most important things to do for you as a gifted person to be more successful, happy and healthy. These are my 8 things that you should do to be successful as a gifted person and 8 things you should avoid. So stay tuned. Number 1 is really about structure, and that means even though gifted people tend to have an easy time keeping many things in their head at the same time, gifted people still need to learn to use external tools and systems to note down their thoughts and experiences and to organize what's happening around them. Yeah, I know, gifted people tend to have a stronger working memory on average, which means that often you can get by just keeping things in your head and just don't need to write it down. And this is one reason why many gifted people don't even learn study techniques, because they don't feel that they need to. But this will set you back later in life, as even if you are slightly more intelligent than your average student in your age, in the end you're going to be competing with people all over the world with wide kinds of experiences and skills, and ultimately your ability to manage and organize your information is ultimately going to be what sets you apart in the longer perspective. Now, systems and structures that you can use are things like noting down, taking notes in the right way, marking interesting parts or sections in a book to come back to, or it could be things like keeping a calendar or keeping some kind of notion or some kind of tool to organize your thoughts, goals, projects, and events. These things help your mind unwind so that it can let go of things. Knowing things are in the right place, that means that your mind can instead focus on other things, helping you solve problems more effectively. Number 2 is really about discipline. Now, as a gifted person, you should always try to seek complexity and challenge. That means you should always try to engage with activities that are difficult for you. So if you find that something is difficult for you, you should be pursuing and trying to learn about how to do that better. That means that you should increase difficulty. The more easy things are for you, the more important it is for you to challenge yourself. And if you don't challenge yourself, you're going to find that you become gradually more bored and undermotivated. Yeah. By doing things that are easy, you might keep this sense of being super intelligent and super smart and being super skilled because you feel like everything comes easy to you. But that might be also because you only choose to do easy things. If you choose to do complex things, your sense of skill and intelligence might be challenged. You might sometimes feel like you're stupid or like you don't know what you're doing or that things are not going as well as you thought they would. But long term, that's going to be the most important for your personal growth and well-being, helping you cope with and to navigate and accept that you're not good at everything, and even if you're good at something, you could always be better. Number 3 is really about empathy. And so something that's very important to do as a gifted person is to remain connected to your empathy. Yeah, while it's easy to think that you could solve all problems purely rationally using logic and by keeping a mental detachment from the world, that might be easier. I mean, you're smart, your brain is very smart and very hyper-organized and very effective. So why not just deal with the world purely logically and set aside your emotions? Well, if you want to be happy and if you want to be healthy, you have to first acknowledge how you feel, and you have to spend time journaling and introspecting and connecting with what you want and with what your emotions tell you. Your emotions and your logic are really 2 sides of the same coin. And your emotions will create whatever logical rationalizations that you have today. Even if you feel like you arrived at them purely logically, there is always going to be emotional drives and connectors underneath. Similarly, the more you flex and exercise your emotions and empathy, the stronger your capacity is going to be for a healthy and clear-headed logic. People that suppress their emotions and don't listen to their feelings are going to struggle because they're going to be disconnected from their emotions, and that's going to cause their emotions to become unconscious motivators. That might cause you to make mistakes and do things you didn't expect to do. Number 4 is about learning, and here it's very important to combat unhealthy pattern in gifted people, which is perfectionism. Here what you want to do is you want to adopt a play mindset, and learning is really about play. It's about experimentation, trying new things, making mistakes, and just throwing things out there, You could seek to maintain a perfectionistic approach, thinking you need to get the right answer right away, and if you don't get the right answer, you shouldn't do anything, right? But that kind of perfectionism is going to limit your learning and your ability to take in new things. So consider why you hold on to that perfectionism. Perhaps you were drilled down or taught to be perfectionistic. Your parents had high expectations on you. Your teachers had high expectations on you. Because you're gifted, you think that you're supposed to be really good at these things immediately and that you're never supposed to struggle. But if you allow yourself to have more fun and to learn for its own sake, you're going to find that it's a lot easier to navigate new topics and activities. So try to lower the volume on other people's opinions about you and expectations and increase the volume of your own inner compass. Here, what I want you to do is something such as just play learning. Really try out what are every single way I could make a mistake in this situation. What is every single bad decision I could do here? What is every single thing I could do wrong? Just to understand how you can navigate this situation. This will help teach you creativity, which will also allow you to navigate situations in a more broad and multifaceted way. Number 5 comes down to diversity. And here, a common problem for gifted people is their tendency to isolate themselves. Really, you might tell yourself that, well, nobody's at my level, nobody can understand me, nobody thinks the way I think about things, so I might just do things myself and do things my own way. This is going to be detrimental to your health and development, as it will cause you to be disconnected from other people. And even if you're a gifted person, that doesn't mean that you don't need social interaction. What you should instead seek to do when you struggle in friendships and relationships and feel dissatisfied with people or people not meeting your expectations is build broader and more diverse social networks. So instead of isolating yourself, you should be expanding and diversifying your circles. Sure, not everyone is going to meet you at your level at every single topic and in every single way. Some people are going to be better at helping and connecting with you emotionally, some people are going to be more intellectually stimulating, and some people are going to be some more practical kinds of co-workers and studies, colleagues, and people around you that you can bounce things off or at least coexist with and have positive and fruitful relationships with. Not every person has to give you everything that you want, but every single person can offer you something. You can learn something from every single person you meet. So if you feel like you're lacking something in social situations or events, feeling like, oh, I don't know how to contribute here, or I don't feel like I belong here, don't feel like I fit in here, think about other situations and other people you can reach out to that can help fill that void. And particularly ask yourself what specifically it is that you're missing here. Because often it can come down to, wanting to meet people with similar interests to you, wanting to meet people with similar values to you, wanting emotional recognition, wanting, a chance to be useful. There can be many reasons why people feel like they don't fit in or don't connect in a specific moment. But every single person can teach you something. So if you keep a lot of people in your life and actively make an effort to meet new people and to go to new circles, you're going to find that you can always get what you need. And if you find that, oh, I'm missing something specifically, you can always think of a person or a place where you can go and get that. Then we can talk about number 6, which is about really management. So here, a lot of gifted people will have big projects and goals, and a lot of gifted people are trained to think very long term, meaning that they tend to focus on some very big thing that they want to achieve. However, even if you have big goals, and there's nothing wrong with having big and lofty goals, it's important to organize your life into small side chunks and small side projects. So it's very important to learn to manage your goals and to think about how you can take this big, complex, abstract idea and think about what you can do with that in the next 2 weeks. You might not solve the problem immediately. You might not know the right answer, but what you might want to do is you want to think of, well, how can I get started here? What can I do realistically in the next 2 weeks? And how can I work and navigate this complex project through the next few years? What do I need to do by what time? And how fast should it go? And it's important here to remember that things will always take longer than what you think. Often you can feel this pressure, this expectation from the external world that, oh, it should be done very quickly because, this and this and this. But actually allow things to take their time and try to focus on journey before destination. Enjoy the process of learning and improving and increasing and reaching your goals. Don't over-focus on the goal or outcome itself. This ties in really to number 7, which is about individuality. So the unhealthy pattern here for gifted people is to live by external appreciation. Seeking external appreciation from other people, support from your parents, teachers, your boss, will be detrimental to your health and well-being. Don't live trying to impress other people. Sure, it might feel nice when other people compliment you on your intelligence or your skill or how fast you learn or do things, but ultimately you're gonna have to learn to do things because you feel it's the right thing to do, not because other people will compliment you for it. And here, it's very important to stay in touch with your own inner compass. No matter what other people tell you about situation, ask yourself, how do I feel about what I just did? Did I feel good about that? Do I think I could have done better? Do I think I could have done it differently? And here, a lot of people tell themselves you shouldn't be hard on yourself, you shouldn't criticize yourself. And here I would say that it's absolutely okay to be hard on yourself. It's absolutely okay to say, oh, I could have done that better and I could have done that differently, because of course you could. Anyone could. Everyone can do better in any situation, in any activity. The sky's the limit to how much you could do. But it's important to be kind to yourself in how you push and support yourself. So it's important to think about what will motivate you in the long run, what will keep you healthy, and what will keep you growing towards your goals. And what here, improving at something also means creating a social and emotional support structure for yourself and thinking of how you can support your individuality and long-term happiness and health while pursuing an activity. Because if you're stressing yourself out trying to get something done to impress other people, it's going to be detrimental to your long-term success at a project. There's a good chance you'll give up, burn out, or dislike or hate it after a while. Finally, number 8. Often, many gifted people will resign themselves to doing what they are told. Yeah, while gifted kids tend to be quite rebellious a lot of the time, many gifted people will eventually resign themselves to doing what other people tell them to do and the way other people tell them how to do it. Yeah, many teachers and parents and people around you will tell you what you should be doing and how you should be doing things. They will tell you what structure you should follow and in what order you should do things and in what way and what the right answer should be. But often it's important for you to flex your own independence here and learn to develop your own sense of independence and self-reliance early. You need to organize your own goals, set your own goals, and decide your own workflow and methodology. And that means learning to take care of your own needs, support yourself, and to get things done the way that you want. Healthy gifted people choose for their own independence and choose to free themselves from other people's expectations and from external pressure. And even if other people have one way of doing things, there's nothing wrong with in your free time and when you're by yourself, thinking of and trying to do things their own way as often as possible. And so even if you have people around you that are very authoritative or very forceful, as long as you have your own time, whenever you have your own time, think of creative ways to navigate these structures the way that feels right for you. So yeah, those are the 8 patterns that I think gifted people should try to follow and the 8 things that I think people should avoid. Which thing do you think you need to work on the most right now, and what do you find is the most unhealthy pattern that you have in your life, and what are you going to do to improve that? Thank you so much for watching, and see you all in the next video.